right? So,
and the other thing to support that too is you talked about the tablet being a lean-back device. I've actually heard an even better term about it. Tablet's the cuddle-up device, which then links to the emotion content that Ann had referred to.
Yeah, and it also points to a swing, I think, in more of a balancing factor on mobile web and app, because from the data I've seen, Ann, you may have better information at this point, but from what I've seen, you end up getting a real mix of mobile web and app on the tablet in the way that you don't necessarily on the phone. I think the form factor of the phone definitely has really driven a strong rise in the apps. It's not like apps aren't incredibly important on tablets, but I think you have much more of a likelihood to surf the open web and consume mobile web on a tablet than you do on a phone.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you're right. It'll be interesting. I mean, part of that has been, I don't think that Apple's rules, in all honesty, and how to develop on tablets has been as good, right? They have the universal app concept, which is not a great experience. So there's a little bit of consumers going where there are best experiences. I mean, a lot of the optimized kind of tablet experiences that aren't that far from your laptop experiences are pretty good, whereas I think the app experiences on tablets in many cases aren't that great, right? So it'll be interesting to see as apps improve, will that change, or will it continue to be more of a browser-based device?
HTML5 blur it to the point where there's really no difference anymore. That's, yeah. So great. So Michael, maybe moving into the last section with about 15 minutes to go, and then we got a final poll question. This just kind of wrapped up the last. This kind of wraps up the 6 challenges where we really ask about, which of the following is our listeners' greatest concern when it comes to mobile advertising. I'd love to understand, what keeps them up at night more than anything. And I think it'd be great for Ann and I to hear that in our businesses, but as well as the broader industry.
All right, we've got about 20% of the vote in, so it'll be interesting to see where this goes. All right, let's give people a few more seconds to cast their vote. We've got about 50% of the vote in now, so if those that haven't voted can pull out their mice or their fingers and vote away, that'd be great. Okay, we're at about 60% now. We'll give you a few more seconds and we'll close it out. And so as we're nearing, not to overly influence everyone's vote, but as we're nearing, what do you think the top 2 are going to be, Ann and James?
Based on the dissatisfaction on the tracking answer, I'd say tracking is going to be pretty high.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tracking and